Curse me out twice today, baby. We on it.
Let's not make it a third time.
Yeah. Okay, so how they put it in the book of Enoch is that God gave a set of angels a task, and that was to watch over us.
Yes.
They were supposed to be our watchers. They wasn't supposed to interfere in any of our choices or any things we did. They were simply supposed to stay at a distance, watch us. If they could persuade us to do the right thing, then you'll feel a certain type of energy. But other than that, God told them, hey, just watch them, do not interfere with them. They came down and they started looking at the women. Y'all beautiful women. I probably would have looked too. I'm not gonna lie. But to go against God and lay down with the woman of man, knowing I'm an angel, that is crazy.
Yeah, that's not what they were made for.
Yeah.
They were made for one specific job, which is to watch.
And how could they do that though? If they're angels, right? How could they come in physical form to do that? Because I know some angels was spiritual and was some physical as well.
I mean, I guess to break it down easily was when they came down into the physical, they used magic to pretend to metamorph into a man. Okay. So they didn't come out as themselves. They came as a man. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how they came to enter a woman for the curiosity of us. Because I also thought the same thing, but we learned through documentaries that that's how they was able to make babies with the woman.
And no, just to piggyback a little bit, just so we don't get too far from that. What I just learned a few days ago from my wife and from the Bible, that God didn't really want us to know a lot of this knowledge, not a lot. And I used to be like, yo, hey, one of the questions I used to have was, yo, he didn't want us to know things. Like, he wanted us to be done what he wanted us to be. Just be like, hey, God, can you do this? Or can I do that? I didn't know. I didn't know what to think, right? Mm-hmm. But now I see it. Hey, if you're an angel, right, and you know how to do magic, to come from a spirit realm to a physical realm to late, that is dangerous. You understand? So now I get it. Yeah, it's no good. It's no good. That's sort of like the big R word.
Yeah, this is where Greek mythology comes in. Yeah. When it came to angels fornicating with women, they have plenty of stories where the angels forced themselves.
Yes.
So a lot of women was not willing to this type of act.
Yes.
So when the babies were born, which were NEPHILMS, they were giants. Yes. Okay, they started feeling themselves like, who can beat us? We're towering people. Yes. We're towering humanity. Nothing can stop us. And they had a ferocious appetite.
Yes.
So they ate everything, meaning all of the animals, all the plants, to the point where they was not full enough. They started eating humans.
Yes, they started eating humans, baby.
What?
Oh my God.
They decided as a whole, hey, we can do and take anything we want. Yes. Why? Because we are gods.
Yes.
So from that being, they know who their fathers are. Yes. They know now, like, hey, we can't talk to our parents anymore. They got locked in.
They got locked in, yeah.
God already punished their fathers.
What was the sentence played out for the angels who deceived God? The Nephilim fathers. What was the sentence that God gave them?
They trapped them underground for eternity.
Trapped them in a pit for eternity.
It's a pit, and you can look it up geographically.
Yes.
So that you can know that the Bible wasn't making no lies.
It was real.
Yeah, that this was an occurrence at one point.
Was they ever supposed to be set free?
No.
No?
They're never going to be set free. Okay. They're going to be set free as into cause mayhem during the end time.
That's what we get into. That's what I was pulling you at, baby.
You're
so
right.
Tell us about that. So take us, baby.
I wouldn't call that freedom because they're not going back up.
Yeah, they're not set free, but
they're
tell us about that.
They're going to be able to roam the earth
because that plays a major part
in the
tonight's
energy
episode.
where we know that it's the end times.
Yes.
So, based on what we know, we've been hit with a big energy.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, yeah, but you're right. But so their sentence was to be in a pit on earth until the end times, right? So now back to the Nephilims. How did God rid them? Because we know that they was eating everything, even humans. How did he get them out of here?
Right.
Like, is they still here?
So the story that we know of Noah.
Yes.
Noah has made an ark. And he's made an ark to try to save humanity from a flood that's been told that it's gonna happen.
Yes.
Any day now, we're gonna get hit with the flood where everything's gonna be gone. Yes. No one believed him. Absolutely no one. Even the giants didn't believe Noah. The giants went and asked Enoch.
Yes. Was that Noah's father? Who was Noah's father? So Noah's father is Lamech. I believe the Bible tells Lamech. The Bible tells us that Noah's father. But Enoch is his great grandfather. Look.
Yeah,
Noah's great grandfather. All right, so we know that's the blood.
It was 2 generations ago.
Yes.
That Noah was making a boat from Enoch talking, because Enoch talked to the fallen angels when they were crying.
Yes.
He spoke to them and for them.
Yes.
For God and them to give a message because they no longer had connection to God.
Yeah.
And then Enoch also was presented by the giants because the giants wanted to know what their dreams was about.
Yeah, they was having dreams that they was gonna be devoured
and pull and drown and kill. However, they were gonna be gone.
And what Enoch said.
Enoch told them, "Hey, I'm gonna go ask God what these dreams are about," and he did exactly what was asked.
Yes.
He came back and said, "Hey, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna be done. Like, this is it for you guys."
Yeah.
And how the giants took it, they were in disbelief. Yeah. They did not want to accept that this is their ending. They're almighty on the planet Earth.
Yes.
Who can stop them?
Yeah.
But not knowing the power of God, they got hit with that flood, and they were hit unknowingly, just like the humans at that time. Everything God took: animals, humans, giants. The only ones that was saved was Noah and his family.
Yeah.
So from that point on, we can see where the petrified mountains come in.
Yes. The
result of what that flood has done.
Now for everybody out there, right, whoever's tuned into this podcast, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, tell us how y'all feel about it, right? But we get back to this video, right? So now, just think about the earth being in a huge flood where it rained for so many days and nights, right? And now you have the ocean rising up with land, with dirt, with cement, with trees, with all of that wood. Everything is rising up together, and so a bunch of people get flooded, right? The giants get flooded, and so when the water go back down, you're gonna see evidence of what they say. If it's real, you're gonna see the evidence. And baby, have we been seeing the evidence?
Just like it's supposed to be. And if you want to look at science, what happens when you see a lake dried up? Yes. You see the fossils of what was there.
Oh my God, these petrified pictures, baby.
Yo, look. But we're gonna show the pictures, of course.
Yes.
My thing is, do you see how massive a giant was? We had giants where they're molded into like mountain rocks, right?
Yes.
And their faces just like they're standing there. And then you have what is it? Land?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You literally have what looks like a small continent,
a small island.
Yep, a small island. And no. I don't want to say a small island because they're going to think it's a small island. No. a small land mass that is on top of a giant's body.
Yeah.
It's not a little island. It's actually a big island.
It got trees and everything on it, but it's shaped like a body.
Yeah.
And my thing is, you know what's so funny? I watched another video. They have a diagnosis for that, where people can see shapes in clouds.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Oh, baby, you were telling me about that.
And I felt like that's like
that's a throw off. That's a throw off. That's a distraction.
Thank you. That's a throw off for the human brain to not put two and two together. Oh, I could see a face in the cloud versus I could see a face in my pancake in the morning.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to say versus what looks and is
but
a giant petrified.
Y'all look at these pictures. Y'all drop in the comments if you can't see it, then drop it in the comments. You could.
They got the genitals.
Yeah.
They got the genitals. They got it where they cut the freaking rocks up and it is red
on the inside,
crystallized rocks in these formation mountains.
Yes.
How can there be what's inside of us in a rock?
Yep.
Layers of
meat,
cartilage,
layers of meat,
bone.
Y'all go see it. We put layers of meat.
And so it's like, no, that's no way. That's no way that's just a rock. Because I've seen a rock. I cracked over many rocks since I was a kid.
Yep.
And they all have beautiful little white or
silver
or black sparkles. Something that lets you know it's from Earth.
Yes. After this.
Let's bring it in to why we even brought up the folklore and cryptoids, monsters that's around the world that we see now. We have to tie it back into the Bible situation with the fallen angels and the NEPHILMS. They were tied into what we know as evil spirits. Evil spirits has been shown to us in many ways. Either a paranormal activity where you're being possessed and you need somebody to exorcise you from someone holy, like a priest or a preacher. However religious belief that they're believing in, they need to be exorcised, right?
Yes.
And then you have them where they come in as monsters that we're afraid of, like skinwalkers, Dracula, Barefoot, Bigfoot. You know, all these monsters that we know and see in movies.
Yes.
And we think like, oh wow, this producer or this writer is creative. No, these monsters are coming out in different ways based off of where you live and how low that energy is presenting itself.
Yes.
I'm gonna stick on to the area that we know. New Jersey, New York.
Yes. In
our area, it seems as though Bigfoot is a big monster area. Everybody seems to have these sightings of Bigfoot over here. I tie that into New York being animalistic kind of energy, like
yes, baby, talking. I see where you're going. I'm right with you.
People are murderous here. People are not afraid. People are out in the dark.
Yes,
we're known for the city that don't sleep.
Yes,
so we big. You know, Big Apple.
Yes.
My thing with if they tie in Bigfoot, we having Bigfoot sightings over here in this area. You can see where that entity draws into an evil spirit. How else can it present itself? It's no longer a giant. It gotta tap into our consciousness.
I say, all right. So I love that you brought that up, right? And I want to take it to the beginning of the C word, which we all know is koha, whatever it is. So in the beginning of that, you know, they wanted a lot of us to stay inside. They something about a sickness and a lot of people dying and stuff like that, right? And it is known in the Bible that, or probably the book of Enoch, I don't know which one. Do not get me the lying. But it was a very known fact that the fallen angels will be bounded to earth until the end days, the days that's closer to judgment. And once they will be let out, they're not coming out as physical, because a lot of people get the Bible mixed up, and it's because they talk backwards. So everything they put in physical is actually spiritual, and vice versa. If they put it in spiritual, then it's physical. So now this energy is coming. It's a spiritual energy, and we don't know how big it is. We just can only imagine the giants. So a lot of us are living in certain areas where we are engulfed in these fucking evil spirits. And this shit is kind of controlling how we act, how we see each other, how we feel on the inside. This shit is actually playing on our lower selves. So we can actually go lower and be trapped in a frequency where they could use us. What you think about that, baby?
I mean, breaking it a little more.
Breaking it a little more?
Yeah.
All right. So God said, these fallen angels, right? They can't go nowhere. Fuck it. We gonna do it like this. So in the beginning of the C word, COVID, I felt a surge of energy of me being renewed, me being saved, me having salvation. And while going through that, the reason why I felt like that is because I was being fed a bunch of knowledge, right? A bunch of knowledge that at the time I didn't know was sacred knowledge. Things that say I could heal myself, or I could do that. And one of the things, let's say, it was a spirit that told me I could heal myself. But God said, nah, I don't want y'all to know that. And look, a lot of people think they can heal themselves by going vegan and wind up sicker.
Right.
You understand? Wind up crashing their whole immune system. And that's the thing. God don't want us to try certain things. And this is how I know I was being led by like an antichrist spirit. Or however you call that name that come in and deceives people, because I got deceived.
Yeah. I believe that. I've seen that for myself, that it was a surge of energy in 2020 where people was getting a humongous amount of downloads.
Yes.
Rather it was spiritually, religiously, knowledge. You just felt super smart.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You felt knowing finally.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden the world shuts down. And it's funny because we spoke about this conversation earlier, like we brought it 2 and 2, that this 2020 energy was literally written up and spoke about, that there will be a time where the fallen angels, the ones that's been locked up, will be able to roam on earth again.
Yes.
And the only time they'll be able to roam on earth again is because God allowed them to during the end days. They have a part to play. And it's to do what they always wanted to do, is torture humans. They literally hate us for the choices that they did.
Yeah.
So knowing this, 2020 seemed to be the most explanational time that they was able to be unleashed on earth. Rather the world didn't know it, but our higher ups, elites knew it.
They know it. Yes, talk it. Let's talk.
And they were afraid because they made it so much of, oh, it's a virus and sickness, that they hid people.
They put everybody on the inside.
They put people inside because they didn't know if they was going to come out on the physical streets. Or if they just didn't know how they were going to present themselves.
They didn't know what God knows. See, a lot of these elites that have money and have power, yes, they got the money. Yes, they have the power. Yes, they are in belief of their own self that they are running this world. But they do not know what God is going to do.
Yeah.
And so when they put us in the house in 2020, that's because they did not know what God was going to do. They didn't know these shits was coming.
Yeah, or what they was going to do. And let's talk about it. Let's be real. And I don't want people to be offended. People want to say, oh, yeah, well, COVID is real because a lot of people died. And let me tell you how strong this thing is.
Woo!
It came to kill.
Yes.
And it did that. Listen, when we were all locked in a room and we were all watching the videos, what were people crying about? They were lonely. They were sad.
Yes.
It was most people were dying because of suicide.
Yeah.
Most people were dying because of their own lower selves that they couldn't face. Yeah. The sickness, the elderly, the sickness,
they wiped them out.
It was too much to bear.
Yeah.
Nothing that was unclean could live at that time.
Yeah.
So in that moment, it just wiped out everything that it was easy to pick off.
Pay attention, right? And this is only the back of what my wife is saying, right? So she said, when 2020 hit and that energy came, that those fallen angels that got set free, they are so powerful that a lot of the elders, and y'all could go look it up, the cause of death during COVID, during those months in COVID, was underlying issues. Yeah. That means somewhere your body or your immune system was complicated due to an underlying issue. Yeah. When your vessel have underlying issues, and those demons come, those fallen angels, that energy come in your vessel, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
This is why the movies show. This is why the movies show that they need kids.
Yeah.
They need pure ones whose bodies not fucked up. No, even in Resident
they really
Evil.
Want babies.
You know, look, even in Resident Evil, it show you them fucking zombies will run right motherfucking by you if your blood is infected by anything. They would not chew on you. You would not exist.
Yeah.
So this is why I show you a lot of the people who have underlying issues. That's cancer. That's diabetes. That's all this shit that they don't want. You understand?
Yeah. The world was able to be smarter than us because they have people that are paid to do that. If you want to go back and forth to, because of this and because of that, it showed that COVID did this, COVID did that. Listen, it's all about the numbers. You give a person a diagnosis, you say the cause of death is because of this, the numbers are going to rise up and show that. Yeah. You understand? The hospitals, everybody, the doctors, they were tied into making profits. Do you know how much money it was to get a respiratory system machine that they needed at the time for COVID patients?
Yeah.
It was so much money just to say that you had a COVID patient.
Yeah.
So it's an ugly thing to know the truth, but it's tiring to sit here and think like, hey man, if you have a personal person, you know why your person's not here now, because a situation made it a stigma.
Yeah.
Like they made it a thing to say, oh, my person died because of COVID.
Yeah.
That was a literally marketing entertainment thing.
Yeah. If propaganda. That was propaganda.
There you go. If my person died by COVID, you get like 3, 4, 5 stars on your shit.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? It's extra attention, extra enlightenment. It's no good.
Yeah.
That was the false illusion to let you know that something that we're not known to understand came upon us and wiped us out.
Yeah. And this is the thing, when they set free, the way how big they are, how intelligent they are, the way that they operate would literally change our frequency on Earth. Now, wherever they at, it's going to change that frequency. That's why we are getting these downloads. That's why we are remembering shit. It's not because from somewhere a button was pushed and we all got activated. No, we are in their energy, so we are seeing glimpses of their past.
Yep.
The information, the knowledge that we see as knowledge is shit that's been floating in their head. So our vessels get it because we are in their energy now. Hey, big boy. They don't want to tell us that though. This is the true shit.
It's so deep.
So let's get to these. Let's get to it, baby.
I mean, we want to speak about how much people got woke during this time, because other than the scientist thing, what happened, the virus and all that stuff.
Yes.
people got so much wisdom and download out of nowhere. They felt empowered. They felt ready for something that they didn't know what was coming.
Yes.
And we all felt like it was God, like it was something beyond us.
Yes.
And it was the same thing our ancestors went through with the flood.
Yep.
These are the secrets. We went through the knowledge of zodiac, astrology, roots, binding, chariot, chariots,
chariot cards, chants, black
magic.
Yep.
We went through talking to the dead. People was learning about how they could make weapons. Even learning how they could be substantially better in their home.
Yeah. And
that's nothing wrong with these things. It just was not meant for us to know. This was forbidden knowledge.
And this was the sins of the fallen angels.
It was the same thing they did to the beautiful woman that they laid down and had babies with. They made us feel this empowerment, this beautiful enlightenmentness, knowing that the devil's known as the light bearer. It ties into it too, because what else can you do to make humanity's already suffering and feeling like they have no way out? Give them something. Give them some magic.
Throw them a bone so they could destroy their shit. Oh my God.
All over again. History happens all over again. Guess what? Now that we tapped in, we're going to now use the knowledge that we know to make another Atlantis, to destroy ourselves all over again, because the knowledge becomes greedy in this realm.
Yes. All right. So now, for y'all to understand this knowledge, for me to understand this knowledge, the knowledge of black magic, right? We say it like every time I hear black magic, I think about Haiti. I think about Africans and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
But
voodoo.
But now me going through this information, if a person say black magic to me, then I think about what the elites is using to keep us all in control.
Yeah, they took that shit. They took it.
And they are using it against us. This black magic that the elites, they learned how to control us through looking at a symbol. Looking at a symbol that's saying Starbucks. Why do you think everybody go to Starbucks? It's a symbol that's inside their logo that makes your brain pull there.
Yeah.
This is the type of black magic that they're doing to us. And y'all, us being humans with our memory wiped out, we can't even fathom to begin to understand the shit that they're doing. So I could see why God, at first, like I said, I questioned him. Like, yo, why you ain't want us to know nothing? Why did we do something wrong by biting from the tree of information? But now I see the wrong person with this information, because now y'all saying the whole world should have this. If the secret should be out there like the Dark Angels is doing, they're giving it to everybody.
Yeah.
And people be so fucked up, they get it. Oh, now I get my get back.
Yeah.
Now I can fuck up the world.
They gotta understand, if you get this type of knowledge and magic and information, you live in a world like the movie Dunes. You live in a world where everybody has this special power. Everybody got this magnificent technology, but guess what? Your world is dead.
Yes.
Why? Because it's too much. It's overpowering. You have to live in this physical flesh that you're made of. If me and you jump off a tree, we're gonna splat. Yeah. You know, our arm's gonna break, our leg gonna break, something. We're in a fragile physical realm.
Yes.
Meaning, if you take something that's a machinery, like a car, and you drive it, and all of a sudden you hit somebody and they're instantly dead, you're knowing you're overpowering your realm.
Yes.
So now you go take it a step further. How further do you think your earth can handle it? You already showing what a technology and magic can lead to. It leads to either death or being too powerful, where you're overcoming everything and everything is dead anyway.
And you're getting wiped out.
That's what these movies all line up to.
Yeah.
So it's like, God didn't want us to have these things for a reason. It's not because he don't want us to be powerful and beautiful. We're going to have a time for that.
Yeah.
Right now, where we are, we have to play out the roles that is meant for us. Yeah. We have to learn how to love ourselves.
It is a hard task, but it isn't impossible for us to just love and lead your life with a pure heart.
I agree.
I like that one. We out here.
We out here. That's Freedom Talk, baby.
Freedom Talks. We out. We out here. Tap in. We out. There you go.